Hey loves, I'm Squid.
And I'm Cheer, and you're listening to
Not Your Pick Me,
a podcast that highlights gamers and content creators who are breaking barriers in hopes of making gaming and streaming communities safer and more inclusive spaces for everyone.
Stick around for some hilarious yet educational content. And just remember, no matter how much you want us to be, we're not your pick me. All right, everybody, welcome back to Not Your Pick Me. This is episode 2, and we will be focusing a lot on our moderators for this episode. The people who are our first line of defense, the people who are there for you whenever you have questions or whenever you want to be able to learn more about streaming and what goes on behind the scenes.
So we brought in some of our mods to overlap between our Twitch channels, and one is who made our Squiddy the Squiddy she is. So we're gonna have them introduce themselves. First is going to be you may know her as Ray Ray or Rach.
Yes, hello. That would be me. I am Ray Ray. I started modding for Squid first, and I actually went and dug up the old Discord announcement to get the freaking date. So let's go ahead and break out the tiers. January 26, 2021 is when I was added to the team of wonderful mods for Squid. And then, we all just became a really close group of friends, and I finally begged Cheer to let me in with the green sword. No, I'm just kidding. So that's how I kind of got into the modding, community, was with Squid, and then Cheer was shortly after that.
I can't believe it's been a year. I feel like that announcement was made like a month ago. Like it's
Right?
almost a year. What the heck?
I can add the fun story too on how you announced the was it like mine and Kate, right? So
Yeah.
we
Please
were, yes, joined in the lobby to play with them, and Squid was like, just casually like, "Oh, Rach, you didn't chat in like you normally do. Like you always chat and say hi to me." And I thought she was being serious, and I was like, "Yeah, I did." She's like, "No, will you please say hi to me?" And so I was like, "Fine." I went in her chat and I was like, "Here I am." And then there was this like 5 seconds of silence, and then they all just busted out laughing. I still didn't get it, right over my head. And then I don't remember who it was. Maybe Courtney was like, "Look next to your name, idiot." And yeah, so I saw the green sword and I freaked out and I ran and told Liz, and she was so happy for me. Literally, it's like
Mom,
I got
get
a
the
new
camera.
It's like I got the job I wanted. I was like, "Liz, look." Yeah. So that's how
I think was that the time that we did applications?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember, and we said we're just going to make you mods and see what happens when you guys realize it.
We literally were like, how should we do this? How should we announce it? And we're like, we should just do it and let it happen and see how they react.
Yeah.
So, Rach, you mentioned the green sword. I know that that's something that people really covet and love in the Twitch community, because that is a badge that goes next to your name. Because not only do you have the mod badge with the sword, which shows that you have power to delete messages, to remove specific people who maybe are hateful in your stream, but there's also different badges for people who have kept going on hype trains, or people that are considered VIPs. VIPs actually have a opportunity to not get auto-modded, and my auto-mod is very specific. It will remove messages that seem any bit provocative or anything that's offensive, and it'll take that away. But if you have a moderator badge or a VIP badge, you can type anything that you want because I trust you. So it's really cool whenever people come into chat, they'll see that badge next to people's names, and they'll know that, oh, this person has a strong connection with this streamer and knows answers to questions that I might have, or maybe can help me in any situation that I need with the stream. So let's go ahead and move on to Courtney. Courtney, tell us your origin story of modding. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Courtney. Courtney Lou, for those in chat. I've been modding for Squid. I think the day was December 2nd or December 3rd of 2020. And I was one of Squid's second mods, I think. And I was brought in after Squid started getting a little bit bigger and her community started growing, and Zach was working more and couldn't be there all the time, and it was just time to where we needed to add more people to the community. And Squid and Zach had brought it up to me, and they were like, "We think you would be a great person to fit in these shoes and help us moderate." And I was just, of course, I said yes, I would do it, and it's something that I've done and couldn't imagine never not doing it because it changed my life completely.
Thank you, Courtney, for introducing yourself. I love you very
You're
much.
welcome. I love you too.
Let's go ahead and move on to Zach. Zach has been the very first mod, OG of OG mods for the Squid Squad. So I have a specific love and appreciation for him. And so I would love for you to kind of share our origin story and your origin story within modding, Zach.
So my name's Zach, or in chat you'll see me as Zevin93, which was actually when we first started, we kept that separate. Like, we were on a first name basis outside of Twitch, but in chat it was always usernames just to keep the flow, to make sure nobody got confused as to who was talking to who. But I was at work one day, and I've been on Twitch for years, never have streamed, but always as a viewer. And I was scrolling through TikTok, and a video popped up, Squid0044, and it was a clip of Call of Duty. It was about this big on the screen, and at the bottom it said live tonight, 8 Central Standard Time, whatever it may have said. And I liked it to remind me to go check it out that evening, and come in, might have said a few words. I can't remember that I said much, hung out for a little bit. And then a couple days went by of watching that, and I noticed that the growth, even it be 2 followers, 5 followers, 10 followers, it was, this is gonna go somewhere. And I had, back to the green badge, I had never noticed one in your chat at all. So I sent you a message that I had typed out and retyped out and deleted and retyped out about 5 times because I didn't want to impose or anything. Just short and sweet. I've done this a little bit before. I have a little bit of knowledge, but there's a lot to be learned. But I see that there's a potential here for this to grow into something bigger. And even I was blown away by how quickly everything happened. But no, I sent you a message and I said, hey, I apologize maybe 3 times in the message. I don't want to impose. I don't want to ask if I shouldn't have asked, but do you have any interest in a moderator in your stream? Because as you grow, I'd like to take some weight off your shoulders so you can focus on entertaining while I can kind of take care of the side stuff, because you see people come in, they want to see gameplay and they want to see interaction, but when you have to stop, turn over to your computer, do something, come back, it breaks that immersion sometimes. And it happens, everybody has to do it, but I figured if I could just sit idly by and kind of keep an eye here and there, it would just let you do your thing. And as Courtney mentioned, she was the second mod after I won't say that I was stubborn and not wanting to allow anybody else to share the power of the sword, but we made it to, well, I say we, but Squid made it to 1,000 followers before we added.
I will agree.
We made it to 1,000 followers before we added a second mod, and we'd have our nightly meetings after stream, and we'd decide who we thought, and of all the people that were regulars, and we were looking at it, interaction and view time and things like that, and then we went from a team of me to a team of 3. And then I think very shortly thereafter were 6 or 7, because the growth was exponential, so we had to accommodate.
It was crazy to have no mods and then have the best mod of all time who literally would have 3-hour meetings with me after stream, would watch all of stream, then we would call for a little bit, then we would play Among Us until like 3 in the morning. We definitely wore ourselves out fast.
Yeah.
But I think that just kind of, yeah, and I think that just kind of shows you the connection that some streamers have with their mods as well. And the amount of trust that I had and still have with every single mod is exponential. Like, I would trust y'all with anything. And so that was really cool to see, because without you reaching out, I don't know what I would be doing, because I would have been modding by myself because I didn't trust anyone. But the way you reached out was perfect. I felt safe. I didn't feel pressured. And you also expressed how you had done work like that before. So it was the best way that anyone could have reached out. Although you did apologize so many times. It was so sweet.
I said, I don't even know if I should have sent this message, but
Well, good thing you did.
and
That happened so fast.
yeah.
Because I'm not one to like trust people quickly, especially men. No offense, Zach. But like, having been in a marriage and the way that it ended and everything, but when you reached out, the way that you reached out, I was just like, there is, like, it just felt right.
The way you responded to that message was, a weight off my shoulders, because I typed that message at like 8 a.m. and I don't think I sent it till the afternoon. But once you responded and you were like, thank you, for reaching out, and absolutely we can work together on this. And it was just kind of like, nothing to worry about, worried for nothing.
I want to know from you guys, what's it like being like the first line of defense? Like, because we're like playing games and sometimes distracted. Sometimes we can't see like bad messages coming through or people being kind of like off-putting in chat. So what's it like being like the first line of defense for the person streaming?
There have been times where like I don't know how like it happened so quick, but I just know, like, you could see people like come into chat, or like people follow, like, oh, Big Mike 420 just followed, like it's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And so you could just kind of get a sense of when something's gonna go wrong or someone's gonna try and be rude in chat. So it's nice to be able to take that off the streamer's shoulders, that while they're playing and doing what they have to do, that we can make sure that stuff gets deleted. And although like we can respond to them and tell them like, hey, like, quit being a shitty person, like that chat also doesn't get shitty with them and be like, oh, here, like, why are you here, and like try and make the situation worse.
I definitely agree with what Courtney said. I also think it's funny modding for both of them. Very different. Like, when you talk about being the first line of defense, that's not always true, because Cheer will beat me to it. I'm like, Cheer, focus on your game, like, we're here. But you do get you each have your different vibes that you put into your streams. So it's different people who are coming in. And I like Courtney, I love to just sit there and wait for that first time chatter with that funky name. And I'm like, I like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt too. So if they say like one thing, I kind of sit back. And it's funny because Liz will be sitting next to me and I'll elbow her and be like, look at this person. What are they going to do? So it's like it's entertaining. It's a fun way to interact with the whole community while also being involved with the streams.
By you, Zach.
I work more than I was. I'm not always there, but even when I'm sitting here, computer, dual monitors, everything's right in front of me, I can't click fast enough. They are on top of it because we know it's not a job, it's something we love to do. And whenever you see those odd names, or even two people arguing with each other that have been there for a long time, without completely just deleting their messages, you kind of just, you mediate, let's keep this civil and focus on this, or as a general PSA, please remember this. It's commands are one thing, but when it comes from the little sword, when you see a message directed at you, you kind of pay attention, and if you don't act right, you don't come back.
And like you guys mentioned, like sometimes someone has a name and you're like, this is going to be bad. But there's also been times where like I've texted you in like the mod group chat and been like, I have a TikTok blowing up and it's not getting nice comments. So everybody be ready. Or like Squid and I both like, hey, we're going to be on the front page of BattleNet today. Get ready. Because they're seeing a woman and they're not happy about it.
I remember, who was it? I think it was on Squid's stream. Someone came into her chat and said, who put you on my BattleNet page or on my computer?
Did you open up your Twitch on my computer is what he said,
Yes.
I think.
This guy
what it
literally
was.
came in and he goes, who opened up your Twitch on my computer? Did you open up your Twitch on my computer? And I was like, bro, that's your computer. I'm not that smart.
Yeah, you got messages like that, and I got, did you show them your boobs to get this? And I was like, what boobs, sir?
And then the unbanned request says, so you did show them your boobs.
Yes.
Oh, it's crazy because it's very interesting because I think it was Rach that had mentioned how different our streams can be and how different like the communities can be that come in sometimes because for some reason, Cheers TikToks like to make it to a side of TikTok that are not as nice sometimes.
Straight men.
They will definitely not be as nice. And when hers blow up, they will come into the chat more often. I've had times where Courtney or Rach will message me and be like, hey, just want to let you know I'm here. Just yell if you need me. Cheers got some things going on right now.
Yeah.
It's the two monitor thing for me. Not always, but there's a lot of times where I've got Squid here on the side one, and I see her. She's got her smile on her face. She's singing. Her Squid hat's on, but I'm over here like banning and bopping and Cheers
In the trenches.
in the trenches with Cheer, and I just look over and I'm just like. No, I love modding for both of them. I think you definitely the more people you mod for, you get your fix for different kinds of crowds, and and I love them both equally for that.
Yeah, I remember before Cheer made anyone mod, she was like, my partner's my only mod. That's all I need right now. And I was like, okay, but I'm here for you and I want to be your friend and I love you. And then you had TikTok that started blowing up and more crazy people started coming to your stream. So
Yeah, well, I didn't want to make you a mod because I know how seriously you take it, and you were in Squid's chat, and I was not going to split you in two because you still do it, even like with your full-time job now. Like you are in all places at once and want to do everything at once, and I was like, I'm not letting her spread herself that thin. But then I had to cave because you are an amazing mod, and I needed you real bad, and I'm very glad I did.
yeah, it's crazy how like it all started because like I didn't have a laptop and I didn't have like I was modding from my phone or like a tablet and stuff like that, and I don't even know how I did it because I try to mod on mobile now and it's like I get frustrated. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm just not going to go and stream because I can't do it.
I have no idea how you did it. But whenever it got around to your birthday, we all got to chit-chatting and we were like,
I'm
we
gonna cry
have
again.
to get Courtney a laptop. And so for Courtney's birthday, all the people that she mods for, basically, and all of our friends got together and purchased her this Mac now that she uses as her super mod computer.
Yes, it is the mod computer. And the only stickers I have on it is a Squid sticker and a Cheer sticker.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Modding is not a paid position. Not everyone knows that. I know that there are some streamers who are larger who can kind of work that in. But it's something that you guys do for free. So what have been some of the perks that y'all have gotten out of this? Not like physical perks, but like maybe even just emotional perks.
Yeah, definitely friendships. Like, I've made these friendships with all you people, and I know I didn't have to be a mod to have these friendships, but it definitely has helped. And seeing like how much we could trust each other, and like just evolving in this community. And I've learned so much just from you people alone, and how to be more inclusive, and how there's so many different people like on the internet and on Call of Duty and on Twitch, and just how to overall become a better person.
I know that Zach has kind of an interesting perk that that he actually has
Yeah.
now that actually lives with him.
Yep.
I think there's a legal contract
Yeah,
involved,
like
no?
legal situation. Is that green sword a chick magnet? Is that
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I will say before, off of what Courtney said, without even having to be a mod, being part of this has given us family around the world. It's more than just seeing somebody in chat and then seeing them in there the next day. Us as mods, or even branched out beyond that, are talking to each other daily outside of stream, sharing moments from our lives, whether it be picture, video, audio, whatever it may be. And like how you all traveled for Ray Ray's wedding and everything, it was like that started here. And when your Discord was just a wee little baby and we had a handful of people playing Among Us every night, Courtney invited people, those people invited people, you get to play in and talking to different people. And through Discord, through Squid's stream, I met my now wife. We go from playing video games every now and again, talking on, daily basis to, and here we are a year later, and we're both thankful. We really are.
I just realized how full circle it is that the thing that Squid got into because of her divorce caused a marriage.
Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
That's something that would happen to me though. You know that?
And like a straight marriage. Like, hello?
Straight marriage.
I ended my straight marriage so that one could bloom.
oh my gosh.
A
You
healthy
sacrifice your
one.
straight marriage.
A healthy one, yes.
The ultimate sacrifice.
I love it. Rach, do you have anything that you wanted to add?
Oh, it's all the same mushy feelings. The friendship is the biggest thing. I talked to my therapist about you guys, and
In the good way, right?
in the good way, yes. She
Okay, good.
literally told me, like, you light up when you talk about them, right? And I was like, no. Just it's the friendship, and like Zevin said, the fact that you guys came to our wedding, like that's something we kind of, Liz and I joked about it. We were like, oh, like what if we invited them? Nah, they wouldn't all come. And literally, you all bought tickets the day we asked.
We bought
Like-
them so fast.
Fast.
Yep.
I think I waited like a week because
Yes.
I hadn't left my house at all, and I had to convince JD like I'm gonna wear a mask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be safe. It's okay. But I did it.
Yeah,
I got on my computer, bought a ticket immediately.
Yeah.
for sure.
So, our name of the podcast is Not Your Pick Me. And I wanted to know, like, what does being a pick me mean to you? Or, like, what has your experience been with pick me's? Ray, I want you to start.
Okay. Whether it's typically someone who ends up on the opposite team and a group of guys, and it's usually one or two girls who just feel the need to be nasty to other girls because they love that boy attention. Love it. That's probably what I see the most. Not really so much of a thing that I think we deal with, like moderating stream chats, unless they like also come in, unless like Cheer's feeling feisty and she's like XO Cheer Girl OX on Twitch after the match. Then I'm like, yeah, get my sword ready. But yeah, it's a lot of times that will come up in game, as in the Call of Duty world's probably the biggest place I've seen it. I've seen Cheer play Spyro and run into zero pick-me's, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I was about to
Yes.
say, Courtney, what you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've not just in your guys' streams, but like watching you guys play with like Brittany and other streamers, Steffi, like you've noticed the girls that have been on, it's mainly females, but there's definitely guys that have been pick me's too. I think anyone can be a pick me. And basically it's just trying to ruffle the feathers of the other team and to make your teammates laugh and to get a reaction out of them and be like, oh, I could pick on this team and it's funny, haha, laugh at me. It is another form of toxicity in the gaming community that I think we handled fairly well for the most part.
That's definitely true, Courtney. Like that's something that Cheer and I have talked a lot about, of how anyone can be a pick me. It
Oh, yeah.
doesn't have to be a woman. Whereas in the gaming world, a lot of women are labeled as pick me's, but anyone can be a pick me because it's someone who pushes aside maybe their own morals and values just to get a laugh or just to be included in a group.
Yeah.
For sure. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I'm going to have to defer to y'all on this one because until I had watched y'all's streams, I'd never even heard the term. So,
You're welcome for expanding your vocabulary.
why, thank you. Again, as they've said, everybody's seen it. You know, some people may call it something else, but at the end of the day, you know, it's look at me, I need attention, and I don't know how to get it, so I'm going to be rude to someone else. And as Squid said, you know, putting your own morals aside.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that we got like 3 totally different kind of looks at it as well. Because that's again what we're embodying in this podcast, is realizing that like this can happen to anyone and you don't have to be like this to be accepted and loved. And there's a bunch of communities that you can join that will accept and love you, that don't make fun of you or joke about you or joke about other people.
And who will like you for like who you really are, not this like weird image you're projecting out.
Yeah. So moving on past like pick-me's and things like that, back to kind of some modding questions. What is it that you love most about being a mod, other than the friendships? I know that we talked a little bit about that. Is there any specific thing that a mod can do that you love?
I'll go. I have I've always had this fascination with like the behind the scenes of stuff, that like what makes things run, how does it work outside of streaming. Like I want to figure out what's wrong with, like, why is this thing not working? Why does it work really well? I want to dissect. I want to be a part of that. So to me, that's why I love modding. I love being a part of why it works so well. You know, aside from obviously everyone's here to see you guys and your content, and it's up to all of us as mods to make sure that that's what you get to focus on.
Courtney, did you have a thought of what you love most about being a mod?
Well, I think what I love most is that I basically was told I couldn't be a mod before I was a mod for you guys. I had a streamer tell me that I asked, I was like, hey, I see you don't have anyone in here, like I'll be a mod, kind of like what Zach did. And I knew this person for a while, and so I figured, shit, no brainer, like I could help them out. And they basically were like, no, you need to be in my streams all the time. You don't have the right schedule. You can't do this. And I was like, okay. So now, I mean, obviously now I know I can do it, but I just think that's funny. And definitely, I think my favorite thing is being sort of like the protector in the stream and having your guys' backs, because that's just me and friendships in general, is making sure that my friends are okay and safe and everything. So being able to do that, that's probably my favorite thing. And I like to make commands. They're fun.
Commands are
You
so
do.
fun.
She rocks the commands.
She does. It's funny because like Squid Stream is more like no nonsense. So Courtney can like bop anyone there and it's done. But there's times where I'm like, Courtney, unban that person. I'm not done yelling at them. No,
Yep.
they need to keep talking because I need to keep yelling. Stop it.
It's
She's
just
very
so
good
fun.
at protecting, but sometimes I want to fight.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, it gets a little tricky. Like, I'll just be like, no, not here, not my cheer. That's mine. Like, you can't yell at her. And Cheer's like, but I want to play with my food before I eat it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I'm feisty. What could I say?
Said I want to play with my food
You damn
before I
Leo.
eat it. True, though. True.
Zach, what's your favorite besides your wife?
So a lot of the time moderating, you really think you ought to have a shield instead of a sword, because it's not always ban this person, ban that person. It's when we first really started out, I knew Squid well enough to sit idly by and know when enough was enough. She wanted to educate these people on why what they said was wrong, because it's building the community and being a part. You can't do it all by yourself. You need help on both sides of things. And, sometimes you do this, another person does that, and you don't get angry at that person for doing your job, because that's not how it is.
I love that. I really loved the shield instead of the sword. That's really cool. And we might need to just hit up Twitch real quick and let them know that they need to fix it. Because it's true. I mean, because I would have sworn that at least one of y'all, or at least one of the three of you, would have said ban hammer. I just love banning people. That would be my favorite. You alluded to it just a little bit, but like, that's not your favorite part. And in my head, I'm like, oh, they just love banning people.
Well, I
Like,
will say,
no.
taunting people with it is fun.
Yes.
This is
Somebody-
true.
Playing with your food.
Right.
I would love
But
to
I-
say too that like I think people don't realize the entertainment factor that mods actually add to the stream, because y'all can create your own questions. Sometimes you can create predictions, adding these different commands in that creates even more communication in chat and just engagement. At that point, it's not just a streamer. Y'all are also part of it, because I know for so long, like when Courtney was really big in her job and like really trying to like work a lot and move up in the ranks and what she was trying to figure out, people were like, "Where's Courtney? Where's Courtney
Yeah.
at? Where's Zach? Where's Rach?" Like, they are looking for y'all as well, because you've become such a staple. So you even add to the entertainment factor, which is huge. Even within our channels, we have channel point redemptions. Like, people who watch for a certain amount of time receive these free channel points just for spending their time within the channel. And they can spend them on different things. Zach was the first person to hit 100,000 channel points on my stream. A little quicker than I expected, but I decided that it would be really cool to create a channel point named after him. And I wasn't going to tell him what I was going to do. I was like, this is just called the Zevin, and you can now spend your points.
It was either the day before or right before you went live, and you just were kind of nonchalant, like, oh, there's something for your channel points. That was, that was it. And I just saw it was my name, and I was like, if I click this, am I going to get a thumbs up? Like, I didn't know. And she's like, I come into stream, and we're going for a little bit, and I redeem it, and she's like, okay, wait till the end of stream. And I was like, what is happening? Like, there was no lead up to it. There was no hint. It was just at the end of stream, she was done playing. She disappeared. She came back with a plate full of whipped cream and just...
Right
it
to
was-
the face.
Right to the
It was
face.
awesome.
And it gets messy. But it was the funniest thing, because Zach messaged me after and was like, I did not know you were going to do that. I had no idea what was going to happen, but that was perfect. And
We
so
had-
now everyone wants to do the Zevin.
The first time I tuned into your stream, that's what you were doing.
I love that.
I'm not even lying. It was Liz found your TikTok. That's how I found your stream. And literally, she was like, oh, I think this girl streams. So I searched you. As soon as I pulled you up, you're like doing that thing. You're like standing like right in front of your camera. and you like bend down and you're talking to chat, and then all of a sudden, pie face, and I was like, this girl's awesome. It's great. I had not seen any, and then like stream was over, and I was that hooked me. Literally, I was like, I
need to know more.
I want more. I probably spent all night. I watched all your TikToks, I'm sure, in that night, and I was ready for the next stream.
That's so funny. I love that. It just shows the impact that mods have. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
So we talked about what you love about being a mod. But what is the hardest part about being a mod?
Oh, I wish I could be there all the time. Every minute of every stream. That's the hardest part. I want to be there for and both of you, different schedules. Even if I was only modding for one of you, like I just wish I could be there for every stream. That's the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm. The hardest is when there's something like with your OBS or something, or with your stream or your internet or something that we can't fix. And I'm like, I just want to fix it for you, and I can't fix it.
And that's why Rach has now learned how to team view into my computer and fix my stuff.
Very true.
There we go.
And Zach used to control it from a completely different app.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on your PlayStation streaming days. All the overlays came from my computer, some however many miles away we are. You know, and it would be like, I'd change something little here. When you go live the next day, there'd be a new little thing for the season or whatever. But no, I'd say the hardest part is there's not enough time in the day to do as much as we want. You know, there's days when I'm watching your stream at work because I'm still there. And I know Courtney does the same. Not being able to do as much as I feel I need to do, and I know you'll say you don't need to do anything, but it's the truth. You know, it's when you go from watching every stream hours at a time to sometimes you miss an entire stream. You can't even be there for a minute, you know, and that's one of the worst things because, you know, it's just there's not enough time in the day to give that 100% that we all want to give.
I know I've heard Courtney say it plenty of times before. I wish I could do this as a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
absolutely.
I feel like that's how much mods love what they do.
Yeah, if Squid or Cheer were to make it like big, like Tim the Tatman, stuff like that, like, and you were like, I need you here full time, like I can pay you and stuff like that, I 100% would do it.
I would do that with y'all in a heartbeat. No doubt.
Yeah.
I know.
I freaking wish I could.
I know what you guys do.
That's something else I think that is really cool. The connection that we all have, streamer to moderator and moderator to streamer. What is it that you look for in a streamer whenever you are looking to mod for somebody?
Well, mine, because I mod for a lot of different people in our community. I'm not really always there in their chats and stuff, but they've made me mods because they've seen me be mods in your all's chat. But it's someone who is trying to make an effort to make the gaming community and Twitch just a better place, and someone who wants to educate people and show them that we don't have to be this hateful, toxic community that it used to be, that we're used to have growing up. Like, it doesn't have to be this way. Like, we can use this as a platform to make things better and bring people together. So people that want to do that and are like you and Cheer are what I look for in streamers. And they have to be gay.
Oh my.
Sorry, I like the gay ones.
Like the gay ones. Same, it's okay. I swear, whenever I search other streams, I look for the LGBTQ tag before I even like go into the streams. But when I started getting mod powers in other people's in smaller streams, I was like, cool, kind of like Courtney, like, cool, thanks, but I don't want to take on any more like modding powers anywhere. But I do look for the streams, like when you guys are offline and I don't know what to do with myself. I, aside from the LGBTQ plus tag, I like to find the streamers who remember and pay attention to their viewers. Squid remembers when people have a different nickname they want to go by that's not their freaking Twitch name, she remembers that. Cheer too. I mean, the community, like, you embrace every single person who comes into your stream, and you guys kind of set the bar really for what I look for when I do like watch other streamers.
Thanks.
So when do we get to roast them?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that EXO cheer girl, she pegged too many dads.
Please don't make me cry.
Smell like cheese.
I'm allergic.
Okay, yeah, let's I got one for Squid. I think everyone knows this, right? Like, she says every day 8 Central Standard Time, but I'm telling you, like, we'll start cooking dinner at like 7:45, and Liz will be like, "Oh, don't you need a mod for Squid in 15?" I'm like, "No, baby, we got an hour. We're good." Turn on the oven. Let's do this.
And then here's cheer. It's what, for me, cheer starts at 6. It's 5:05. Cheer's in her chat, talking with Jess about points, checking in her chat. I'm like, Cheer, you stream in 2 hours. Like, I'm ready. I'm just Cheer's ready to go.
No, I do my makeup 2 hours before, and I'm sitting in my seat an hour before. I post my TikTok, and I sit here. I get all my settings ready, and then I wait.
Y'all are lucky if y'all even get makeup on my face.
I will never forget Texas when we said we were gonna do the stream, and Cheer's like, "Squid, aren't you gonna stream today?"
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Bitch
just gonna take a nap.
Like 40 minutes before. I was like, "What do we have to set up? What do we have to do?" She's like, "I don't know. Don't you have to shower?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap."
She's like, "I'm gonna take a nap and then shower." Cheer's like, "You have an hour. How are you gonna do all that?"
Also, I left for the airport that day. I was like, you can't be late because I gotta
Literally,
go.
she had to leave.
Did it not get done on time though?
It fucking did. It did.
She just
And then my flight got screwed up. I was stuck in Georgia for a day.
you're always on time to your streams, and when you're not, honestly, like if I check my phone at 6:02 and there's no live alert, I check Snap immediately, and I'm like, "What is Cheer
And you see
going?"
me on the toilet.
And that literally happened 2 days ago. I swear, we were at Liz's parents' house, and it's 6:05, and I was like, "Cheer's not live. Something's wrong." And then I opened Snap, and she's like, "Fighting for my life," and you were like, "Oh."
Sitting on the porcelain throne.
You didn't see it. It was like
It was a face view. Nope, there she goes.
Vera.
It was literally just like that, like from chin to eyeballs, like this.
Yeah.
I just gave myself a cramp in my leg and also pulled some hair out, but it was worth it for the clip.
Yeah, so Cheers 60. Let's talk about it.
Shut the fuck up. That's what you're gonna roast me on,
That
being
bitch
the
born in
oldest.
1942.
1942.
Cheer sailed the ocean blue.
Cheer
Oh.
was there. Cheer was there whenever they actually released the first computer. So
I actually started streaming on Justin TV.
If you play the first Call of Duty, you actually see Cheer in the background fighting for her gay rights.
fighting for our gay rights.
I'm not going to partake in that because I have nothing that I could say. Absolute honesty. I don't know that there's ever been a time where I was like, why'd she do that?
I think that Zach probably agrees with the timing one, though.
Okay, so I will
Since
say
brought up.
I have noticed that it's not even a surprise anymore in a good way, because it's like, if I get home late from work, I know I got a little bit of time, but here, if you want me to say anything, I will say that whenever this first started, what was 3 a.m. for you when we'd go to bed was 4 a.m. for me having to get up at 6:30 for work.
Oof.
So
Dang.
your stream schedule there, I'll
Roasted.
That's his roast.
It's the
Roast.
stream
Roast.
schedule. Oh my goodness. No, it was really funny because I think Zach also was one of the first people that I came out to. For sure.
Really?
Yeah. Because there was a guy. Do you remember that, Zach, when what's his face was hitting on me? And I was like, I can't, like, I'm talking to women. I don't.
Yeah.
And
The way you told me, again, it told me something about the trust that we had, because we were having a conversation, and you're like, I think it was the day before, I'm going on a date tomorrow, and I was like, that's awesome, and tell me all about it and everything. And then the next day came, and after everything, I was like, so how'd it go? And you were like, it was so much fun, without even putting emphasis on it. She is great, and I was just like, that's awesome. Really, I mean, it's just, it clicked as soon as you said it, and it was like, it was normal. And it is, I mean, obviously, you know what I'm trying to say, but it was just, like, it wasn't a surprise. I'm not saying I had you figured out.
You had me pinned as gay? Did I look gay?
No.
Zach said, I just have a good gaydar. I don't know.
No, that's the first thing I said when I came in your stream. Literally, my first message ever in your stream is, "Squid, are you ... And you were like, "Yes, in fact, I am."
Are you?
See, I don't even like that for me though, because like I feel like I'm not that kind of like. Do you listen to Girl in Red? And I'm like, no, I don't actually listen to Girl in Red.
I like
really.
Fletcher.
I like Fletcher. Haley Kiyoko. That's
I don't
something.
listen to any of this music.
Cheer.
We're
Am I
talking.
real gay?
I didn't even know we were talking about music.
I just want to say, like, it means a lot, the both of you trusting us and being part of your community, and like how he came so far, and like I said earlier, how Cheer's partner was her only mod and she didn't need anyone else, and then how Zach was your only mod, and now we're here today, and like how these friendships have formed, and uh like with Squid, like how I became friends with Cheer and them before, and I was like, I trust Squid, like, trust me, you have to get into this group. Like, these people are amazing. And like, it didn't work out with everyone, but like, this group of people is a good group of people to have in your life. And I trust me, like, I know things haven't worked out with other people in the past, but this group is going to lead you in the right direction.
That's actually very important. Like, I actually come to my mods for questions as well about people in the community. Like, I'll go to my friends and moderators before anything, because they usually see a little bit more, they hear a little bit more, they're told a little bit more about things. And so when Courtney had joined this group of people that were on a Snapchat group together, she was like, I would love to invite you to this group. And I was like, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know these people. I don't know what I'm like. But because Courtney was the one who said it, I was like, I trust Courtney and I trust her judgment, because I trust her in my stream every single day and her judgment there. And so literally that's how this was even able to grow more and more.
Yeah. Also, like, we go to them because sometimes people aren't actually who they are in front of us. Like, they put us on this like pedestal, so they're like acting a certain way because they want to get on our good side and they want to be a VIP or a mod. And then we'll just be like, hey guys, like, what do you guys think of this person? And they're like, no, and it's like, oh, I didn't catch that because their nose was up my butthole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
I mean, if you know that you're not being true to these people about who you really are, don't even bother. Because it's more than just an act you put on whenever you're online. You have to be this person that can, as we've talked about, associate with each other outside of the thing, outside of streaming, outside of everything, And I'm not going to say everybody agrees on everything, but if you don't agree on basic principle and moral value, you're not going to work together. It's just not going to work, because I've seen a lot of times when other channels that I watch, they'll put out applications for moderators and stuff, and here's our new mods, and then a week later, half of them aren't there anymore. I've never been, behind the scenes enough to know why, but it kind of, this person wasn't who they said they were, so don't lie, just be yourself. You're going to find that community that you vibe with. If you want to be a mod for somebody, you have to go by their thoughts. It's their channel. You can't bring your own opinion and ban these people that say something you don't like whenever it may not be what the streamer wanted. it's not your place. You know, you were trusted by them to do what they would like you to do for them. I won't say you have no say, but without being able to get the words out, you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, I time people out in Squid's chat for not liking ketchup. It's fine.
Yeah. Pineapple belongs on pizza.
Banned.
Yes, it
Pineapple
does.
does not belong on
Banned.
pizza.
Yes, it
No.
does. On all
No, it
See,
doesn't.
pizzas.
I love that we thought the same thing though, because as soon as he said that, I was like, I totally time people out for saying pineapple does not belong on pipizza.
It's because it doesn't, and I disagree
Stop.
with you, Rach. So I guess Zach was wrong, because Rach will just ban people anyways.
It's a timeout. It's playful.
Y'all are goofy. So I guess one of the final questions that we really wanted to hear from y'all on was some do's and don'ts of being a mod, and some tips maybe for just overall tips for being a good mod. I think Zach kind of mentioned a little bit in that last question, but what are y'all's thoughts?
Yeah. I'll bring up, like I said earlier, about benefit of the doubt. I like to give them a chance. If they say like one thing, maybe it's just a little off-putting. I typically wait to see like what their next chat is before I just go in and swing that hammer. As much as I want to, and I know we all love it. It's so satisfying, but I do like to give the benefit of the doubt. I also like to give you two time, especially to make it an educational moment. I know you excel at that. So that's probably my number one for do. Don't. I would say if you're wanting to mod for someone, don't spam them about it. I don't know if that's the best way to say it. You know, like don't insert yourself into their community too aggressively. Like just be there, have fun, interact with chat in a way that is fun, and just like Zach was saying earlier, be yourself and respect boundaries.
Boundaries, so important.
Bitch.
I said boundaries. I said boundaries, so important. Cheer goes, bitch.
Like
And
I
that's us in a
said,
nutshell.
different streamers.
Yet I would still make Cheer a mod in mine as well. But did I ever actually make you a mod in mine, Cheer?
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
a
yeah,
mod for a
she
while.
did.
I thought so.
remember
That's what
the-
I was saying.
I remember the conversation we had about why you weren't going to do that.
I remember that too, because you reached out to me
Yep.
and you were like, "Hey, I would make you a mod, but then other people would want to be mod, and I don't want to make them mods, so you're just gonna stay VIP." And I was like, "Gucci, I understand."
I was like, she's streaming already anyways. It's so funny. It's literally just a formality now, I think. But like also at the
Yeah.
same time, Cheer has done modding in my stream.
Squid probably doesn't have like Twitch as like a save tab. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
no,
like,
no. I
Which
stay
is like
as
the
far
number one
away.
thing on my phone.
I stay as far away from it as possible. I've even turned off Twitch notifications before because I get so overwhelmed by one thing being such a huge focus in my life, and I get burnout so fast. So I'm not a mod in anyone's chat. I
VIP
literally have
for
told,
life.
I've told everyone, I said I will not mod. Not that I don't love you.
Yeah, it's funny because like I can't mod like these three do, but like yesterday one of our friends went live and I knew they were having a hard day, so I was like, "Hey, make me mod for a day. If anyone gets out of line, I'll bop them, blame it on me. Totally fine. I will be your scapegoat." So like if you need someone to be a little bitchy for a day, I'm your girl.
She's the
But
best.
like to really handle things, not me.
I love when she'll lurk. She won't even chat, and then you'll just
Cheer's
be
the
like,
ultimate
"XO cheer
lurker."
girl, X banned," and I'm like, "What? She's here?"
Yes, I'm always watching.
That's so funny that we're doing an entire podcast on mods, and yet Cheer is also a mod.
True.
Yes. Sneaky. So we've reached the end of the episode, and typically in our streams, we would send you along to another stream to watch. We can't physically do that, so we will gently gesture you towards a wonderful streamer. Besides our mods, one of the best mods I've ever encountered on Twitch, Mika. You'll see her in chats screaming people's names in all caps. She recently started streaming. She apparently said she never would, and now she is. She's super amazing. She mods for, I think, Carly, Steffi, all these amazing female streamers. She's from Argentina. She's completely destroyed her sleep schedule to be there at all hours. I don't think I've ever seen her not in a stream she mods. She even comes into my stream and will be like, hey, change your game. You're playing Warzone, not Search and Destroy. What are you doing? And I'm like, stop modding. Turn that part of your brain off. You're not on the clock right now. So we would love for you to give her the love that she deserves. And you could follow her at twitch.tv/Mika Castano. And you will see her link in our Discord and in our show notes.
All right, guys, so that wraps it up for our questions for our episode focused on mods. Thank you so much, Zach, Courtney, and Rach for being here and answering our questions and educating our community more on what it's like behind the scenes. We are so appreciative of you as our moderators, and we can't even put into words how much you guys mean to us. We actually would like to do a quick shout out for Ray here. She is actually going to be the person who is building out our Discord. So while we want y'all checking into each of the episodes, please join our Discord as well so that you can get all of the up-to-date information, fun and exciting clips that maybe don't even make it into episodes, as well as updates on merchandise and things like that.
Thanks so much for having me on here to do this. I had a blast hanging out with y'all and talking about one of my favorite things to do. And looking forward to seeing y'all in the Discord.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, and I love you guys.
Love you, Court.
Love you.
Thank you guys, and thank you for what you do every day. It's awesome.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Not Your Pick Me, hosted by me, Squid.
And me, Cheer.
Join our community over on the Discord and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more exclusive content. When you leave a review, tell us about the topics and creators that you want to learn more about.
Our executive producer is Janice Matsko of Empowerment Ventures, and our theme music was created by Brandon Peralta.
Until next time, guys, all my lovin's.
And thanks for hanging out.